Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Flaminia and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 2025 knitting resolutions and knitting plans. I know it's probably a bit late for this, it's like mid-March, probably. But I just haven't had the time to think about my plans, or I had a lot of videos that I wanted, like they had priorities that I wanted to put out. So it just didn't happen. But I feel like actually now that I've gathered everything I want to talk about, I actually have quite a lot of plans and actually quite a bit of resolution as well. So that is going to be interesting. I'm going to start from my resolutions, and then once they're all checked off the list, I'm going to make my way through my plans. Maybe, if I can manage, I'm going to be knitting on one of my whips in the meantime, just because I want this to have a very chilled and relaxed vibe. So if you're up for something like this and for some knitting inspiration and some chat, bring your knitting and a beverage and just cozy up. And I hope you enjoyed this. I just want to quickly mention what I'm wearing, which is my darling cardigan by Couture Kika. I test knitted this and I made it in the Sandnes Garn Borsted Alpaca in the color lilac. So I have a list of resolutions and I'm just going to get started. First resolution is knit more basics. Is knit more basics, which can mean everything and can mean nothing. Some neutral basics. I just have struggled a lot these couple of years understanding which ones are my neutrals. I feel like this brown could be a neutral for me, so that's quite nice. You know, I love my knits, but I feel like I've been missing the real basic ones. So this is for sure a resolution, and it's just for practicality's sake mostly. Next one is I want to try steeking, just because I've been getting a lot into color work these recent months and this recent year in general. So I feel like I have the perfect project that I lined up. I have almost all the yarn, but I'm going to talk more about the project itself later. Then I want to unravel sweaters or fix sweaters that I don't wear. Like unravel sweaters that I don't wear or fix them, you know? Because I just have a lot of knits and I have no intention of just quitting knitting anytime soon. So my storage space is coming to its limit. So either I stop knitting or I just kind of try to get the best out of what I already have. I'll maybe want to record a video on like sweaters that I want to unravel or that I want to give away, or some things I want to fix. Handmade by Florence and Mathilde from Nestle the Knits. They are hosting a Make It Work March, I hope. Make along or Cal. I'm not sure if it's a knit along or a make along, but I really want to, like, I know it's just for March, that knit along, but I really want to make this the anthem of my knitting year, or at least that's my good resolution, and I hope I can at least lean a bit more into it. Then I want to knit more baby knits, which, I mean, it's a bit weird resolution for me because I just have one baby to give knit for. And like, I know that like baby knits are so cute, but I often get decision fatigue on which patterns to go for because they're all so absolutely incredible and so cute. But I have some weird quantities of yarn leftovers, and I'm always thinking on what could I do with it, because I don't wear vests, but they're just not enough for a sweater and they are leftovers from sweaters, so unless I want 2 sweaters with the same color and the same yarn, I don't know, that could be a bit of a repetition. So I don't know, maybe baby blankets or baby knit in general, like sweaters, cardigans. I just have to get more into, or maybe just little accessories, you know, those things. I feel like they're just good stash busters. Of course, I love how they look and I feel like they would be so fun to knit, but mainly for stash busting purposes, I want to knit more baby knits. I feel like that would be a good break. Sorry, I'm trying to make my phone not turn off while I talk, because that's a bit annoying. But it could be a great break from, you know, my usual projects and just do something different every once in a while. Then this is a bit of a challenge. I want to knit at least 5 pairs of socks, because Morgan from Morgan Unraveled, which if you don't follow her, what are you doing with your life? Go check her out. I really like her vibe and the projects she makes and the color choices she does and just a lot of things. It's very interesting. And also, if you like books, definitely go check her out, because she has a lot of good book recommendations every podcast. So yes, but off topic, she, I think, is challenging herself to knitting 5 pairs of socks in 2025, and I want to try to do that as well. If you know me, or if you've been following me, this could sound rather weird coming from me, because I'm not that great of a sock knitter and I'm not that big of a sock knitter. I don't particularly enjoy knitting socks, and sometimes they're not that successful, my socks. But the thing is, the ones that are successful, like, they're probably the things I wear the most, which is crazy. Accessory wise, they're absolutely the thing I wear the most, and also non-accessory wise. Sweaters, I don't really wear my sweaters to stay at home that much, just because it's not something I'm used to. I feel like I have some sweaters that I can wear at home, but most of them I wear when I go out. But sometimes I just don't go out very often. But socks, I always wear socks around the house because my feet are always cold. So they're just such a staple in my wardrobe, unfortunately. And I always wish I had more, but I don't want to buy wool socks. I know I can knit, and I want to knit wool socks. So I have one of my patterns that I want to knit is actually a pair of socks. So that's a new thing for me, because it has never been like this. It's always been garments. But yeah, you know, we're just leaning towards that direction. And let's see how it goes. I'm really curious. Okay, next one is, I mean, if you've been following me these last months, maybe you know that I really want to knit a Christmas sweater this year. Oh my goodness, like, I would start now. I'm so excited. And on the same Christmas note, I want a yarn advent. That's something that was a knitting resolution for last year as well. It's just that they're really expensive and I just don't get to them fast enough or early enough in the year, and maybe they're sold out. Maybe I'm not sure, so I procrastinate and then they're actually all sold out, or they're expensive and I have to ship them from I don't know where, like to buy them from very far away places. So if you have recommendations for yarn advents, please leave them down below so I can maybe check it out when the time comes. And also if you know when I should start checking, like looking out for yarn advents, because I have no idea. I used to be so passionate about makeup, and I know like yarn makeup, oh my god, makeup advents just keep coming earlier and earlier every year, like in August and July. And that's an exaggeration. That's not an exaggeration, but I just feel a bit overwhelmed when the time comes, so I end up not doing it. But every time that I don't do it, I am disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I'm just jealous of other people who have them. But maybe I will just do a scrappy one with my friends. I don't know. I just want to have something yarny to open every Advent, so we'll see about that. But I really love to have a yarn Advent, and I already know which Christmas sweater I want to make, and that's all over color work. And I don't know, you guys, it's so pretty that I cannot even. I'll put it here. It's from Sunscarn. Oh my goodness. And that would be so cute if I could start early on, so we could organize a little knit along. And if you guys want to knit Christmas sweaters, we can do some kind of group chat. I don't know where, on what platform, so we can all share our Christmas sweaters progress. That would be, I don't know, I'm so excited. You can tell. But it's March, so we have a long way to go. I feel like it's going to come earlier than I think though, so yeah, that's it. Yarn Advent. Okay, then it's now a bit more on social media related resolutions. I want to get better at taking pictures of my projects and get creative, even if I barely have time now, to be honest, so maybe 2025 is not the right year, but that's something I would like to do. And on the same note, I would like to get better at actually posting the pictures on Instagram and things. And I haven't put it on the list, but I would also like to try and start a TikTok account. I have nothing against starting my own TikTok account, but I feel like I'm scared of getting into, the doom scrolling type of TikTok where, I don't know, I just be there. I like to knit, and knitting requires time, and you don't have that much time in a day. So I don't want to spend my time just scrolling on TikTok. So I've been meaning to start a TikTok account for so long. I just haven't done it for that, because I don't want to get into the trap. And it's not like I want to particularly enjoy and consume the content on TikTok, but sometimes with trends and stuff, I feel like you have to consume to know what to put out, kinda. I don't know. I don't know. That's something I'm putting out there. I actually downloaded the app yesterday because I was like, I'm doing it. I don't care. I also downloaded Heyday, which is, I hope everyone knows about what Heyday is. Like, have you been living under a rock? It's the farm video game for like phone and devices, and I don't know, I just have been playing it since I was a child, but I've lost my account, or I just have been too lazy to remember the password and how to access my old thing on Heyday. So yeah, that's such a tangent. Oh my god, what am I talking about? Why am I talking about Heyday on the 2025 knitting resolution video? That's crazy. But I downloaded TikTok because I downloaded that, and I was like, ooh, perfect timing. Then I am not the one to put pressure or goals on this YouTube, or like to put them out in the world, because, I'm still very proud of what I achieved, but objectively, I'm not the best example of growth, rapid growth for a knitting podcast, I've been doing it for more than 2 years, almost 2.5. So I don't know, sometimes I feel bad about saying these things out loud, because what if I don't achieve them? Then I would feel really delusional. Like, oh, I said I wanted to achieve this, because I've been discovering a lot of new podcasts that have been like growing quite rapidly. I mean, rapidly is not a like constantly, rapidly and constantly. And maybe they have a resolution of like, oh yes, I would like to reach 5K, and I feel like it's quite doable. And I'm here like, I'm not even at 2. I'm almost at 2, which is, thinking about it, it's so cool. I don't care, but maybe it will motivate me to do better. So my next resolution is maybe to reach 3K on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. If it's not, it's okay. But maybe having this thing written out and into the world will make me more I cannot find a word, but actually wanting to do stuff. I cannot find a word. Then it's a non-related resolution, but I feel like it's a crafty one. And I want to continue baking with sourdough. I started my sourdough starter, my own sourdough starter. Say that 3 times fast. In 2025, and I've been baking every single week. And this, I feel like it was yesterday. Yesterday I baked a loaf of bread, and it was the best one so far. I know I very much want to perfect my technique, and I want to experiment with more recipes. So these were all my resolutions, but if you have some... So these are my resolutions. I hope you can resonate with them. Tell me if we have some resolutions in common, and anyways, just tell me if you have some. That would be very, very interesting to hear. So comment down below if you want to share that. It would be lovely. Then let's get into the knitting plans. So last year I made a make 9, but I've talked about what I think of my last year's make 9 in my last video. No, in the one before that, but I link it here, hopefully. But I'm not going to do it this year just because I don't feel like it. I feel like going a bit more random and just going with the flow, and I have a lot more yarn than last year, so that's fine. But let's say we have 20 sweater quantities, okay? Saying like making a make 9 would say like I am ignoring the other 11 sweater quantities to focus on those for a whole year. So that would feel, I would feel a bit guilty about that as well. So I'm just going to be going a bit more with the flow. But so for sure, what I want to do is I'm finishing what I have on the needles. This is my own pattern. It's out, you can purchase it. I'll link it down below. It's always linked in the description box, but it's a Sandra pullover, and we're running a knit along that it's running until May. I think May. I'm not sure. I'll put the date here, but we have a group chat where we're sharing our progress, and it's really fun. And this is my second sample because I've wanted a second sample since the test knit started. And yes, so I'm making it. So I want to finish this. Then I have another V-neck sweater on the needle, and I want to finish that as well. But that's basically everything I have on the needle so far. So that's good. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I just have my Ravelry queue, which is not in order. I'll just go through it and see what it is showing. So what it is showing right now, the first one is the Dusk sweater. I've talked about this before. It's by the designer Gardner's Licht on Instagram, or Elina Biba. I feel like she is Norwegian or Swedish, but maybe Norwegian. And this is a 2x2 V-neck drop shoulder sweater. And the sample, I originally wanted to do it in green, Then I wanted to do it in navy, but I don't have a navy, and the sample picture is in a Bordeaux color. This is not quite Bordeaux, it's brighter, but maybe it will suit. I actually swatched for this one, so this is not the right swatch. I should have to swatch for it, but this is a DK weight. Yes, it's fingering plus lace, but it's on a 21 stitch gauge, so I feel like it's DK weight gauge. So I will have to swatch for it, but I feel like that could be quite cute, and I want to own more v-necks. And yes, color yarn. This is a an unknown yarn. Like, I know I have the tag, but when I Google it, nothing comes out. So I'm not sure. Like, I cannot link it, but I'll write what it is in the description down below. And yeah, everything as always will be linked in the description. So you just have to do like show more and all the links will appear. So this is the first pattern on the list. Second pattern on the list is a sock. All the socks basically I want to do, they're pretty simple, either ribbed or stockinette vanilla socks. But the original sample of the Sandro is basically in this color, and I found a cable sock pattern. I'm not sure whether it is free or not. Yeah, download. It is a free pattern. It is the Togetherness socks, and they are from the designer Little Home Designs, and they have a similar pattern, repeat cable-y pattern on it, you know, where you have cable, stockinette, cable, stockinette, cable, stockinette. And I don't know, I just have this vision of having my socks matching my sweater, and I just cannot get it out of my head. Of course, I've seen so many, and the yarn, I just tossed it on the sofa, so I'm not going to pick it back up, but it was Phil Colana Vetta in the color Ballerina, I think. And I really want to use that for those, because I cannot get it out of my head, and I know there are so many beautiful sock designs. I'm just so worried about my sock sizing that I don't want to commit to making too complicated of a sock. So like this is okay, and that is also it's a ribbed cable-y situation, so the sizing is probably more forgiving, and it has a heel flopping gusset, which I really like. And I also want to say something else. I only have 50 grams, but I feel like this would work. Maybe I'm thinking, no. I was about to say, I'm thinking of making these bottom up, like toe up, which I don't mind, but I really want them to be heel flap and gusset because the Arvetta is quite thin and quite soft. So maybe I would prefer a more doable heel. So yeah, I'm going to figure it out. Most of my socks use about 50 grams. It's just the pressure of playing yard chicken and knowing that if I need more, I don't have more, but we're just going to chill and go with the flow, okay? That's good. Next pattern is the lace pullover. I put the V-neck version, but I think actually the round neck, maybe I would prefer with this yarn. What do you think? I've been dying to cast this on because look how good it would look, I think. Like with my hair and my skin tone, I think it would look amazing. But I've invested, oh my goodness, finally. I've invested like it's so expensive, but in a yarn winder. So I've just been saving all my skeins so that I can just have fun and play with my new gadget when it arrives. So probably one of the next things I cast on, probably sweater-wise, garment-wise. Oh my goodness. It's not that springy. Spring is about to come. It's not that springy, but honestly, I just have 2 spring-summer projects and that I plan on doing for this year. So I feel like it's good. And the Lakes pullover, it's a saddle shoulder with quite a high, it's still a crew neck, but it's big chunky crew neck, which I like. I've saved the V-neck and the crew neck. I don't really know. I feel like I slightly prefer the crew neck one because I have a couple of V-neck sweaters saved that I might want to do as well. So I'll maybe go with those and do the Lakes pullover like this with this yarn. I feel like I might be off gauge. It's a worsted weight, so I feel like I could. Why am I not talking about the yarns? Oh my Jesus, I'm sorry, I'm just too excited. That was because I keep tossing them away on the sofa. My sofa is there, so I cannot reach for them anymore. But it was Cascade 220 in the color Italian Plum. So, I mean, fortunately I remember, but I just have to get better at that. So the lace pullover, it's a worsted weight, so I feel like I could make it work with the Cascade 220 because it's very plum. So I don't know, and I feel like I'm able to modify gauge. I haven't modified gauge, like I haven't knitted a saddle shoulder pattern of gauge yet, but I feel like I could easily do that. Also because it's a stockinette sweater. So the next one is a V-neck sweater, and I swatched for it already, and it's the sweater number 14 V-neck. I've just been dreaming about this sweater ever since I started knitting, but I just never got around to it, and I feel like a super squishy version in this brown color would be amazing. If you don't know that my favorite things knitwear sweater number 14, I feel like you know, but just in case, it's a drop shoulder, very oversized V-neck sweater with a 2x2 long ribbing at the cuffs and at the bottom with the split hem, and it has a double folder, like the ones you put paper in. A double folded V-neck collar, finally, and the gauge is 16 stitches. I swatched both in 5.5 and 6 millimeter needles. I mean, keep in mind I am a tight knitter, but I feel like I would go with 6 millimeter needles. I think that matches gauge that's a closer match to the gauge in the pattern. So that is that. And the yarn is Wulia by Gepard Garn. It's so lovely and squishy. Like, the squish factor is amazing, and I just, 2025 is going to be the year of brown for me. Finally, I own 0 brown sweaters. And I feel like that has to change, because what am I doing with my life then? I was going to start that pretty soon in the year, but then I started this. And for how much I love brown, maybe that's silly, but I don't want to have 2 brown projects on the needles, because as I love it so much, I wanted to spread it out over time more. Okay, then next plan on the list, actually I don't have the yarn with me now, so I'm just going to do a couple more that are off the list. And I ordered the yarn and it arrived today. I'm so excited. I'm going to get swatching after this. That's going to be so exciting. Look at this color. Look at this. This is, as you can see, Drops Daisy in the color 10. And one of my testers did a Sandro in this color. I'm just going to put it here so you can admire. Okay, so you can admire. And she's very nice as well. We talked on Instagram a couple of times, of course. I mean, Drop State is just the squishiest thing ever. And I bought this to make a Sandro v-neck. Just saying that, the excitement just, I'm over the moon excited. Oh my goodness. So I'm maybe thinking of, because I also want to do a v-neck cardigan, and I maybe want to make the two patterns in one, like Sandro v-neck, and you have both the sweater and the cardigan in the v-neck. But maybe I was thinking of making the cardigan in this, but it would be so cute if we had kind of matching sweaters. So I'm going to make the, how's it called? God Jesus. The sweater v-neck in this, and maybe the cardigan in white. Hear me out. So this is one that, speaking of white, I am going crazy, okay? And I don't know, I feel like, I mean, it wasn't in my knitting resolutions, because just in case I quit, I don't have to just face anyone about it. But I feel like writing up patterns and designing my own thing, it has sparked a new love for knitting. I cannot really explain it. If you know the Tom Holland reference, I cannot really explain it, but it has sparked something new in me. I mean, I know I can self-draft anything I want, like in theory, you know, if you're more than a beginner, maybe if you feel comfortable self-drafting things yourself, you unlock something, you're like, whoa, I could do anything. But now that actually the pattern, like, people bought the pattern, like, you know, that's crazy to me. So that boosted my confidence, and in also like my sense of style and my ability in grading, because I didn't work with a grader or a tech editor. I just did, I mean, of course, my tester helped me so much. I'm so grateful for that. But I don't know, I feel like I wrote the pattern, so some credit goes to me as well. And like, that's crazy. When I tell people, they are like, wow, that's crazy, good job. And my mom is a knitter, and she's quite proud. She's like, oh, so how many sales did you do today? I'm like, Mom, 0, but I'm so proud, thank you. And yeah, she talks about it, and she's like, oh yeah, how many sales did you do today? Because I'm very proud. I'm like, thank you, Mom, I'm proud as well. I don't know, that sparked, short story long, just to say that it sparked something in me. So I'm kind of very excited again. That is also a way to bring something to the community. And you know, if you make things that are your style and people appreciate it and people want to make it, I feel like I'm just rambling on, and I feel like you understood what I said. Just, it sparked a new joy for me in knitting, but I keep rambling on about it. This is Vikingar Bambino, and it's a Norwegian yarn, and it is 50% bamboo and 50% cotton, and it is one of my favorite summer yarns. I highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it. It's the perfect white, like it's white, you guys. If you've been following me these last months of 2024, you know that I've been struggling with white. This is a white, even whiter than what is showing up on camera. Like, you know, this is white, and I love white. I feel like it suits me quite well. White. Take a shot every time I say white. And especially when I'm tanned in the summer. So I've been thinking and pondering on writing up a pattern for a dress that I semi-self-drafted. I have to make some modifications because I took inspiration from a pattern, and of course I don't want to take someone else's work and say that it's mine. And I think I know some modifications that I would, you know, I just don't want to put out the pattern for the sake of it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yes, I could modify this and I think it would be good. I think I could modify that and that would be quite good. And I feel like that would make it maybe better for what I like. And maybe someone else likes it too, who knows? So if I can manage, because that is also a thing, but if I can manage, I would like to make, hear me out, a long, like I'll insert a picture of the dress here. I would want to make a white, long, kind of sundress circle skirt version of that. So I've never seen so much summer yarn in a box. I bought, like this is sport weight, and I bought I think 13 balls, which I feel like it's almost 2,500 meters, which is crazy. Okay, that's a crazy amount, but you know, it's a white. I like the yarn. It's one of my favorites. So even if I end up not making it long, whatever, it's a situation where, oh, what am I going to do with my favorite white summer yarn? You're going to find a way to use it up. So I bought it. Yeah, again, short story long. Then I would also like to include in the pattern how to modify a top pattern you own and make it into a dress with that silhouette. Wow, this red is the most red I've ever seen in my life. And it's not, you know, I cannot, looking at it on camera, feel like it looks orange, but it's red. It's a lot more red. Maybe like this, you can see it's maybe red. I mean, it's more red. It has a bit more pink in it. It's this watch, I made this watch and it's not too drapey. This is like a sport weight kind of yarn and cotton. It's 100% mercerized cotton. So it is a bit more structured than the Bambino. And I would like to use the pattern I already own, like a sample to show that one off. So to make the Sweetheart Revenge dress, but in like the pattern is in 2x2 rib and ice washed in 2x2 broken rib, just to see how it is. And yes, I feel like I like it. Let's see if it works. So potentially 2x2 broken rib. If it doesn't work, 2x2 rib. But in this color, that thing with the round skirt shaping and not with long sleeves and with no sleeves at all. Like I tested this pattern and before picking up the sleeve, you have these like I-cord straps. And so I'm going to put a picture of that. I have it on my Instagram and I was like, ooh, that's really good. But the pattern has some kind of, it's not a razor back, it doesn't come super high, but it's still high in the back, and I want it to be like how a normal tank top would be. So let's see if that's structured enough, but you know, with the hard neckline type of thing in red. It's a whole vision. Okay, and I hope I can make this work. If it's not to write the pattern, it's because I want it. That's just as simple as that. So I really hope I can make this work, but I should really start soon. Yes, because I need to make the white sample, maybe not finish it if I want to make it like midi length, but at least to have something for a test call. That's all. I'll let you know if that works, okay? Let's just not get too ahead of ourselves. That's just what I have in my mind, in my brain at the moment. I feel like we're almost done. And then I have, yesterday, no, that wasn't yesterday. Last year I started an Arctic Light sweater, but for many reasons, it looks beautiful, but for many reasons I have to frog it. And I think I was holding this particular yarn double. It was light gray, beautiful light gray. I don't have it here and I don't want to get up, okay? But I'll put a picture of the Arctic Light so we can see the color. I want to hold that sport weight that I was holding double. I want to hold it single, so I have plenty to make a sweater. I think I have again 14 balls of it, so definitely a sweater. I can get the sweater out of it. So it's sport weight, okay? And I have a couple of patterns in mind. The first, probably, that I want to watch for is the Agnete cardigan by Petit Knit, which is actually a DK weight pattern, but is a fingering weight and a mohair on a 3.5 on a 3mm, I think. I'm not too familiar with how yarn plays into gauge in a brioche pattern, because I think I did 1 or 2 projects in brioche, but I haven't gauge swatched for them. So I'm not sure whether that will be too loose or something like that, or if I should go down in needle size and up in size. Those things, I am not sure, okay? But I want to start with gauge swatching. If that doesn't work, or if I don't like it, or if it's not structured enough because it's superwash yarn. So if that's not it, maybe then the Chantal sweater by Knit. The V-neck version is gorgeous, but the crew neck version is also gorgeous. So I'm just saying the Chantal sweater, either one of the two. And yeah, oh my goodness. Oh, it's a sport weight. It's a sport weight pattern. At least the V-neck. Just let me check the other one. Chantal sweater. Where are ya? It's a sport weight pattern, you guys. Oh my goodness. Then maybe it's just destiny. Okay, I'll just watch. I'll just watch. I mean, if you're not familiar, the Agnete cardigan is a V-neck cardigan with double knitted bottom bands in brioche. Looks very nice and store-bought. I really want to do that, but I would like to do that in a neutral, which is not too dark, which is going to show the brioche well, which I'm going to love wearing. So a neutral I like, a neutral that I like to wear, a neutral that suits me, a neutral that suits the stitch pattern. And I have no idea what yarn I want to use because I don't want to use mohair. So that's like, I don't know, that project I think takes a while to knit because it's quite a fun gauge and it's brioche, so that moves slower than stockinette. So I just want to get it right. But yeah, I'm having a bit of decision paralysis. While the Chantal sweater, either like both the V-neck and the crew neck, you have 2 versions, and it's all over slip stitch pattern, and it's just gorgeous. Wow, like you have no idea. I'm loving Knit's designs this year or these days because I feel like she's so clever in construction, and her designs are recognizable, but are still basic, if you get what I mean. Am I putting too many things on the plate? I feel like I am, but I just went through my stash and these are all the things I could come up with. And as I've said, if I don't do all of them, it's fine. And if I just do some of them, that's also fine. I have the Jeju sweater by Knit, which is a very oversized, classy drop shoulder, I think so, sweater. And it has this like argyle type of colorwork thingy on the body of it, and it's just beautiful. I love all the samples. I love all the versions I've seen. Originally, I was thinking of doing it with this. These are woolly knit cones in dark apple green and pine forest in the British wool. But I have a lot more of this than this. And maybe I would have to hold it double, I think, to get gauge. And I mean, I for sure have more than enough if I hold this as my main color and this as my contrast. But I feel like this suits me a lot better than this. Yeah, this suits me a lot better. So color scheme wise, this as the main color would be more clever. But I need to use, in theory, I have no other plans for this, so that could be nice. But I went to a craft fair in Rome here. I mean, hi, I'm from Rome, Italy. So if you didn't know, I live in Rome. I've been living in Rome my whole life. And knitting is not too much of a big thing here, especially if you leave. Like, the northern you go, the more of a big thing it is, and here we're pretty south, so that's not such a big thing. But so I was shocked. Okay, I was walking to this fair and I see a woman wearing this sweater. I was like, of course I had to act cool when we were walking past each other, and then once we crossed each other path and she was behind me, I just grabbed one of my friends and I'm like, did you see that? That's the Jeju sweater. And she was like, oh my god, no, I haven't seen it. I'm like, no, I have to show you. So yeah, it was a Jeju sweater, you guys, in Rome. What? Okay, I think I should have asked the woman to sign my bag or something, because that was gorgeous. And I remember it being light gray, like gray and purple, something like that. And I was picking out the cones to bring here in my living room to film, and I have these two cones, and I was like, that would be gorgeous, that would be glorious. Like, this is the main and this is the contrast. Only problem is, this is this is not the problem. This is woolly knit. This is new Lanark spinning mill, and we bought it at the Scottish Yarn Festival in Perth. That's like, this is such a rustic wool, but you can see how much depth of color it has. Only problem is, this is my mom's technically, so I have to ask her if she has plans for it, then I can use a bit of it as a contrast color. So I mean, if you want to help me decide, I would be so happy and I would be so grateful. But for the Jeju sweater, option 1, the greens, option 2, the gray and the pink. Please give me your opinion. I would love to know what you think. I think I might have one more, but let's say it is my last one. This is something that I know I want to do, so I'll get to this for sure. But I'm missing the main color, but I want to do the Bibi sweater by Spektakelstrik. This is the color palette that I've chosen. And these are all Jamieson's of Shetland Spindrift. This was 91 euros of yarn, you guys. But I feel like it's worth it. And I feel like it will be worth it. I'm so eager to swatch. I don't have the main color. I just need 100 grams of white. That's really it. But I'm so undecided about the yarn. I maybe would like Tin Pure Ghent, because this is the steeping project I was talking to you about. So I feel like I want to start it soon-ish so I can work my way through it, because it's a pretty long project. You know, it's fingering weight, all over colorwork steeked, oversized, all of that. So quite mindful and quite substantial. But you guys, let's say that I kept the best for last because I'm obsessed. So this was so exciting. I had so much fun, you guys. And I really hope, like, please, I'm so excited and I want to keep this going. So please put your knitting plans in the comments, put whatever you're working on in the comments so we can all have a chat and maybe we can get inspired from each other. I definitely don't need any more inspiration, but I kind of do. Like, life is hard in general and life is difficult, and I'm starting to to feel like I don't have enough time for knitting. But talking about knitting makes me feel like I'm still engaging with the community and engaging in the craft, even if I'm not actively knitting. So please share that in the comments if you have some plans, some resolutions, or some things. Let me know. Like, I'm always curious about this because sometimes I'm quite shy about commenting on other people's podcasts, being like, oh my god, I cannot wait for you to make this, because I don't want them to feel pressured. And I feel like they wouldn't feel pressured by a stranger on the internet saying, oh my god, I can't wait for you to make this, so they're going to make that. And, feel pressured about making that soon. But let me know if you're excited by a particular project that I've talked to you guys about. So maybe I'll prioritize that. I'm not quite sure. I told you, I would like to go with the flow, but you know how things go. Going with the flow means changing your mind. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and you can subscribe if you want to not miss my future content. I usually do podcast episodes and project vlogs and pattern roundups sometimes. And you can also follow me on Instagram if you want. As I've said, I've been posting pretty regularly. I have been posting, like, in the past. In 2024, I've been quite good. Not very good in 2025, but I'm trying to do my best. So if you want to see more of my project, the link to my Instagram is down below. Is at Knitting Flam, as on YouTube here. And in the meantime, I hope to see you next time. Bye!